Hi, my name is Kristen Morris, and this is my lesson plan. I made this lesson plan for 9th grade English literacy, and my Common Core standard is to analyze how complex characters, those with multiple or conflicting motivations, develop over the course of a text, interact with other characters, and advance the plot or develop the theme. So I chose the short story The Scarlet Ibis by James Hurst to use to target these objectives. And this story is centered around a family, mainly two brothers. One of the brothers is born with some disabilities and the other one is born without. And it shows the relationship between the two brothers and how they grow up and their relationship, and themes of pride contribute to the development of the story and the development of the characters, and it plays a major role in the theme. So the student will be able to determine the theme of the text and show how the relationship between Doodle and his brother, as well as their individual character traits, contributed to that theme. So in order to evaluate if the student has mastered this objective, the learner will be required to write a response that includes a thesis statement and also describes the characters and their relationship with each other in relation to the theme. This will be a formal assessment, and the students will be given a rubric as well. And I have chosen this objective because it is part of the Common Core standards for this grade level, number one, and also because this is a building block that students will need for future objectives. They need to practice writing a thesis statement and finding the themes and exploring all of those things before they can get into writing the full essay responses. So this is one of the first things that they will be doing when they come to school. So now we have part 2, student grouping. And grouping my students, when we first come into class, we will have full class instruction. I'm going to be demonstrating what they're going to need to be doing. I'm going to tell them everything they'll need to know, give them their rubric, and then I'm going to let them get into small groups of 4 or 5 to discuss some of the themes and some of the characters. And during these small groups, they'll be able to develop a thesis statement and a theme and all that type of stuff. And these groupings will include a mix of students who are both high achieving and low achieving. And after they are done discussing in these groups for about 10 to 15 minutes, they will come back together for a report back session. We'll kind of talk about what they came up with in their groups. And then after we've talked about it, students have had time to ask questions. They will then write their final draft of their response independently. I've chosen this way to group because it allows students to receive the instruction from me before breaking off into their groups. I'm planning on modeling a satisfactory response as well as one that's not so good. That way they can see what's expected. Also, it allows the students to collaborate with their peers during small group time and then in a full class discussion. And most importantly, these groups allow low achieving students and high achieving students to kind of bounce ideas off each other and learn from each other, and I think that's good. Okay, lastly, we have section 3, the methods and instructional strategies. Some of the methods that I'm planning on using for this lesson are lecture and discussion and small group discussion, report back session, class discussion, demonstration, and brainstorming. And I've chosen all these methods because I feel like they best suit the objective. The kids are learning how to develop a theme, and they're going to need a lot of guidance and collaboration, out loud thinking, and I think that these methods will best help them to be successful.